Thank you. You like my mug too? It matches. Hey. Is that clearance? Hey everybody. Hey Aaron. Well, hello. Can't hear you. Now I can.
Okay. Good.
Your hair's so cute.
Thank you. It's my my shelter in place look.
Oh well, girl, that's how you look when you sheltered. Can't wait to see how you look when you are out. So cute.
Thank you.
Did you twist it?
I braided it, actually.
Oh, cute. Hey, Tiff.
Hey there. Thanks, Tiffy.
All right, and for those that are here, this is Khalila Adams. I'm with Caremark Realty, and this is my segment Realty with Khalila. Every Thursday, I interview a boss babe, and today I have the pleasure of speaking with my sister, my very, very, very good friend Shavonna, who I have been friends with for over. Okay, I'm gonna put this like this is just crazy. I was thinking about how many years we've known each other. We've known each other for a quarter century.
Oh, wow. Yes, it has been that long.
A quarter century. Can you believe that?
That's a long time.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
So you all can only imagine why I say this is my sister, because we have been through a lot of things together, highs and lows, ups and downs, loves and losses, everything you can think of. Tara said we old, but we've known her the same amount of time, so.
And your birthday is before mine.
I was gonna say, I think her and Tiffany are the oldest in the group, so, but we won't talk about that.
Right?
Yes. So yes, we have been through a lot together, but today we are going to talk about all the amazing things that are going on with you, and I'm so very proud of you. We would be all day if I sat here and talk about all the things that you have accomplished. But one thing I want to really, really talk about and highlight and let everybody know about is your new business that you recently launched, which I'm so happy about.
Yes.
So, to everyone out there that just joined, that didn't get to hear who I'm speaking with today, I am live with Shavonna Peterson. Shavonna is a self-love developmental coach. She is also a psychotherapist.
Yeah.
All right, girl, the psycho things I be getting mixed up, but I got it this time. And she has a host of other amazing things that she offers, and I just want to highlight her. I want Shavonna to introduce herself and let you guys know about her business and the services that she has to offer. So Shavonna, please give us the pleasure of introducing yourself.
Yes, well, that was a great introduction. Thank you.
You're welcome, girlfriend.
So yes, I am a self-love development coach, and so I recently relaunched my business. So I've been a therapist for about 7-8 years now, and so in 2016 I decided to steer more towards coaching, and I like that better. And then, I relaunched it because I really, really defined my niche and what I was most passionate about. So obviously I love helping people. I love the counseling aspect. I love really helping people reach their goals and get to the next milestone. But through all the different types of clients that I've had, I absolutely love working with women who have been in toxic relationships and helping them to really love themselves and to really have the emotional stability that they desire. So throughout all the clients that I've worked with and all the fields that I've been in, with marital counseling and children's counseling and all those areas, I was really into teens for a long time and families. But when I really thought about it, I realized that the core of a lot of these issues stem from self-love and how they feel about themselves. So, when that relationship with yourself is in order, you're able to have healthy relationships with other people. So including your children, including your parents, including your marriage. And so I was like, you know what? Since I have to go back to the core, if I was working with all those people anyway, that's what I want to start with. Yeah. So that's how I just got to self-love development, and that's why I decided to relaunch it and rebrand it and just really put that message out there.
And yes, I appreciate you sharing that. One thing we have a conversation about oftentimes a lot is like the core and the root of a lot of people's issues and their problems and why they can't move forward. And a lot of times we find that it starts from when people are young and their parents or their outside influences or their environment. And I think that sometimes we have to learn how to love ourselves again, because maybe some of us didn't have that growing up, So I appreciate you for pointing in on those things and reaching out to individuals that need to learn how to love themselves. So with that being said, can you explain the difference between loving yourself, because I know a lot of people struggle with how to love themselves. It's one thing to love yourself, but how do you go about loving yourself?
Yeah, so loving yourself, I like to think of it as having a healthy relationship. And so this is one of the topics on my first podcast that I just put together. And so if you think about a healthy relationship, right, and all the aspects of a loving relationship with anybody, right, there needs to be communication, there needs to be trust, honesty, there needs to be safety, there needs to be, I'm missing one, I can't think of it right now, but when you think of all those factors, though, the same applies with yourself. So how is your self-talk, right? So if you're in a relationship with somebody and they were always pointing out your flaws, they were saying like what you're not capable of, what you can't accomplish, you would say like, this person kind of sucks. They're not that great for me, or they don't make me feel great. But the reality is that we talk to ourselves like that sometimes. And so that's a sign that you need to work on your self-love. Or if you aren't trustworthy of yourself, like you say you're going to go after that promotion and then you say I'll probably get passed up anyway, or you say that you're going to lose weight, something like that, and then you kind of shoot yourself in the foot and for whatever reason you don't do it or don't believe that you can. Everybody in my family is big and that's just the way it's going to be, or whatever.
It's generational, I can't do it.
Exactly. So that might be an indicator. Safety, safety is huge. Emotional safety. When you are trying to accomplish something, do you say, well, I messed up before, so I'm not going to go after it again? Or, you kind of bringing up your past and holding it over your head. I never picked the right men. I never picked the right women. Physical safety. Some people, to cope, they just start, to numb out, to not acknowledge their feelings, their body. So they self-medicate, right? You self-medicate, you drink every day, or you smoke every day, or you put your health at risk because you just don't care anymore, or you become promiscuous because you just don't care anymore. And so those things can be sure indicators that you might need to work on, your self-love in that relationship with yourself. Are you even being honest with yourself about what you need from people, what you need from yourself, what you need from, your support system? And so, if those things are, if you're not even having honest conversations with yourself, I know a lot of my clients, will say, no, I'm good. I ain't even gonna let that bother me. I'm straight. When you really hurting inside.
Yeah.
So you kind of, just being dishonest with yourself. So if those factors aren't in place, it's definitely harder to have a loving, honest relationship with other people, or even expect other people to treat you in that way when you're really not being that loving to yourself.
Yeah, and Tiffany said physical self-harm too. So abusing yourself is a way of not showing yourself love. So I know on one of your podcasts, and I want you to talk about that a little bit more, but on one of your podcasts, someone asked you the question of what's the difference between self-care and self-love. And can you explain to everybody, for those of you that joined a little later, this is Shavonna. Shavonna is a self-love development coach. She has recently relaunched her coaching business, so we're here speaking about her services and what she has to offer. So Shavonna, can you explain the difference between self-love and self-care for those of us that don't quite understand the difference between the two?
Yes, and for those, I saw my mom log on, so I just wanted to make sure I say hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom!
Say hey, y'all. So I'm so glad she figured out how to use Instagram, y'all.
Yes!
Congrats, whoop, whoop. Okay. So yeah, the difference between self-love and self-care. So again, I just went into a little bit about self-love, right, and thinking of that relationship. And self-care, which a lot of people confuse the two, right? Nobody really wants to admit that they don't love themselves. And the truth is, in some aspect, they do love themselves. They do. But a lot of people will say, well, yeah, I go on vacation, or I get my nails done, get my hair done, and all these other things, or, I work out regularly. But those are more so aspects of self-care. So self-care is the things that you do to make sure that you are functioning properly, to make sure that you are at your best, to make sure you're giving yourself mental breaks when you need it. Get an appropriate amount of rest, taking care of your body, showing that you love and appreciate your body, and just doing those, even if it's just making sure that you set aside time for yourself to do the things that make you happy. And I know a lot of women struggle with that, and that they have a self-sacrificing mentality, and we're kind of culturally, a lot of women are brought up that way. A lot of religion plays a lot of part in that, where you self-sacrifice, and it's about serving everybody else, and you come last. I won't eat. I won't get anything for myself. I won't, I have to work harder than everybody else, and all these other factors, and not recognizing that there can be a balance between the two. And so, again, self-care is that maintenance that you do for yourself, to make sure that you are your best self, or that you are your best you, So that's pretty much the main difference. I even want to say that setting boundaries with other people and having a healthy relationship, is a part of self-care too. Definitely. Respect, which leads me to respect, which is the other element of self-love. Respect means that, are you aware of your triggers? Are you aware of your boundaries? Are you enforcing them, or are you allowing other people to step all over them?
Right.
So, it's kind of hard when you don't set the tone for respect, but you kind of expect respect from others. So just wanted to point that out, because I forgot the other element, but yeah.
Thank you for explaining that, because I think it's important for people to understand the difference between self-love and self-care. You may love yourself, you may tell yourself every day, oh girl, you beautiful, you fine. But if you're not taking care of yourself, if you're not making sure that you care for yourself, how can you care for others?
Yeah.
So, thank you for pointing out boundaries as well, because that is very important, especially with us women in business. I know we work ourselves to the ground like so hard, and we go hard, and we never think that, you know, we can cut it off. But for me, I think it's important that we set boundaries. We set times where we don't answer the phone, or set times where we're not going to be handling business, because otherwise you can get overwhelmed and really drive yourself crazy.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So, tell everybody a little bit about how they can find you. But first, can you explain why you chose this industry? I know you briefly explained it in the beginning, but for those that joined a little later, I want people to understand you and your passion. And as you guys can see, Shavonna is so soft-spoken and just so kind. So can you imagine her being your coach?
Oh, thanks. Well, let's see. I think I've always been interested in behavior. So, you know, it started out with my passion in undergrad, and just really being excited about psychology, because my undergraduate degree is in psychology. And so I was really, really fascinated with how the brain works and how your mind influences your actions and why people do the things that they do, and the societal, you know, the systems and how everything plays a part in why people do what they do. So I was really fascinated with that. And so from there, I was like, yes, I'm going to be a psychologist. That's what I'm going to do. And then I went to grad school to be a school psychologist. And then I was like, this ain't gonna work. Like, all the statistics and just diagnosing people and running tests, and I'm like, just treating people like, you know, just subjects and animals is the feel that I got. And I was like, how does this really help people, right? So, you know, not knowing then, though, I could have still went into psychology and did what I want. But I was like, yeah, no, I think I like counseling where I'm actually helping people through the process and not just running tests and diagnosing and all this other, you know, more scientific stuff. So I think I'm going to be on the other end. So I kind of switched into counseling. And so, and then I was in love all over again, too, right? And wanting to help people through the process, right? And not just, this is the problem, you need a prescription, or whatever the case is, but actually helping them through the problem, seeing them through the problem. And then, again, I just became more and more in love with that. And then even as I did that, I was still kind of turned off. I don't want my counseling friends to get mad at me, but turned off by the diagnosis part, right? Like, and giving people these labels and diving into the history sometimes. And so I've always kind of followed the theory of just being solution focused. Like, okay, there's time to go. Let's get you there. Not necessarily we gotta, you know, rehash all your life history, even though it has its place for that. I'm not against that, but I've just always been about, okay, you want to get from A to B, let's figure out your plan to get there. And some people are frustrated with the counseling process in that they feel like counselors don't really do anything. Oh, they didn't give me any answers, I just talked. And that works for some people, and for some people it don't. But for me, I just want to, let's figure out a plan. Let me be your cheerleader. Let me be your coach. Let me be your whatever to help you get there, and let's get the results together. And counseling is definitely like you're in the backseat, right? Like you're in the backseat kind of telling that person like, so, you know, how does it feel to go down this road? Do you feel like this is a good, you know, the best solution? And looking in the rearview mirror, whereas, you know, a coach is in the front seat with you, like, girl, make that left. Make that right. Let's go, you know.
Yes.
So we don't worry about last week you went over this, you know, took this road and it didn't work. We in the car now. What street we on? What street we gotta get to? Let's go.
We're gonna take this route. Yes.
Exactly. So that's really what kind of just led me to that. You know, at the core, I'm still always in my head. thinking about, the stuff that still drives people to do what they want to do. But at the end of the day, I kind of just stash that away and use it to help them get even further,
Yeah. So can you talk a little bit about Dirvana and how people can access that and submit their questions?
Yes. So, this has been a really, really fun project. I swear I need to get paid for this little hub I'm giving them. But, like, for real. So, no. So, at first I wanted to do a newsletter because back in the day I had an advice column article that was in different teen magazines called Dirvana. And so, never let that go. It's like, I really, really want to do something with that. And so, as you know, Khalila, I wanted to start up another advice column. But the way my life's set up right now, all that writing, ain't work. Ain't work. So, I'm like, I can talk all day. As you can see, I can talk all day. So, that's what I'd rather, you want to know something? Let me tell you. And let's get this over with. So that's when the podcast, Shavonna, came into play. And so I just launched that this Monday. Every Monday, I'm going to get on and answer your questions. You can go to my website, ShavonnaNicole.com, and you can listen to my podcast on my website, and you can also contact me there to submit your questions. Or you can just email me directly at Shavonna@ShavonnaNicole.com.
And they can listen to the podcast through Spotify too, right?
Yes. I'm on Spotify now. I'm on 5 other platforms. But Spotify is the most popular one, so if you have Spotify, you can look for Dirvana, look for me on there.
Yeah, it just pops right up because I actually searched for it through Spotify, and I typed in Dirvana, and you were at the top of the list. So she's not hard to find at all. So please check out her podcast.
Yay!
And you said every Monday?
Every Monday. Yes.
Okay.
Every Monday.
Is there a particular time that it posts, or is it just all day Monday?
All day Monday. It'll
Okay.
be up when it hits midnight? Midnight.
Midnight? Okay, awesome. And can you, so we have new people that join. Aw, thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Mom. Thank you.
What do you want your audience to know about you?
Well, that I'm really passionate about what I do. Like, for everybody that knows me, like, I genuinely want people to win. I genuinely am interested in, I'm always talking about self-love and self-care and take care of yourself and all that stuff. So, what you can expect from me is that I'm always genuine about it. I'm very passionate about what I do. I don't take it lightly when people, trust in me with their personal lives and their personal stories and their challenges and their insecurities. Like, it takes a lot to say that you need help, and it takes a lot to tell somebody, especially if you don't know them.
Yeah.
So, and me also being a certified domestic violence professional, like, relationships are hard, and a relationship with yourself is even harder. And so it is nothing that I take for granted or lightly, or I value it. I value the clients that I work with. Just put it like that. So that's the main thing that I want them to know about me.
Oh, thank you for sharing. And Crystal said she's going to share your podcast with her book club. Thank you. So Shavonna, one thing I also wanted to ask you to do is let everybody know how they can find you on Instagram and Facebook and pretty much all of your social media sites, so that they can follow you.
Okie dokie. So on Instagram, well, yeah, as you can probably see here, but Instagram is self-love-coach.Shavonna Nicole. So self_love_coach.Shavonna Nicole. On Facebook, I am Shavonna.Nicole. And and my website is Shavonna Nicole. So if you just type in Shavonna Nicole, like, it should pop up.
It should pop up, yeah. And then they can email questions to your email address. Can you repeat that again?
Yeah, so my email is Shavonna, SHAVONNA, at ShavonnaNicole.com.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. So my famous question, the question I always have to ask, because we always have at least one or a few women. Tiffany, we will type it in the chat. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. Sorry about that. Oh, women in business. When we have several women in business that join these lives, and I know a lot of us come to a point where we hit a bump in the road, where we're afraid to move forward, or something just stops us from moving forward on our dream and our aspirations. What advice, being that you are a woman in business, what advice can you give to those individuals that are struggling, are in the process of starting a business, or already have a business, but they've come to a standstill in their business?
Well, I would say that what's really been helpful for me is to try not to beat yourself up when you don't make the progress that you want to make. Like, find out what you don't know, reach out, ask for help when you need it, seek support. I had to get a coach, and so you don't know what you don't know, and it'll be okay. It'll be okay. Give yourself a little grace. Give yourself some encouragement. Be your number one cheerleader instead of being the number one critic. And just don't give up. Don't give up. I've been working on this for quite some time now, and so what's more important to me is my sanity, my peace of mind, my balance. I know a lot of other entrepreneurs would not agree with me and say, like, you just need to, work all these endless nights and grind, but they don't really work for me. When I'm exhausted, when I'm frustrated, I need to refocus. Focus on my whole child, and do something fun. Make sure that I'm smiling. If it feels too much like a chore, I need to take a break.
Yeah.
Take a break when you need it. Come back to it. If it's your destiny, it's your destiny, and it'll be there.
Yes. Amen. Meant for you is meant for you.
Yep. Perfect timing. So be your cheerleader instead of your critic.
That's awesome. Thank you for that. So is there anything else that you want to say to the audience? I usually try to keep these under 30 minutes so everybody can get back to their families and their work. So anything else you want to add or talk about?
Well, I want to say I thank you for having me on the show, and for just continuing to encourage women in business, and actually for this platform that you're using. I'm very, very grateful for making me go live, because, girl, I ain't did it before. So, and me getting over my little fear or whatever, so, and my little technical issues, but I did it. I'm here, y'all.
You're here. You did a great job.
I made it. So, I'm just excited. I'm excited. I'm really excited. I'm really thrilled. That was my goal. I want to have fun in what I'm doing. I want to be of service. I want to help people, but I want it to be mutually beneficial.
Yes.
I want to have fun, and I want you to get what you need, and that's what's most important.
Awesome. Thank you, Danae. Danae says, keep up the good work, y'all. Thank you.
Thank you. I still didn't put that in the chat because I'm on the phone, and
so I was going to say, before you do that, we'll just stay on a little bit after. We'll tell everybody bye, but you can type it in the chat for those that want the information, and then we'll hang up. But for those that don't like to write things down and can go by listening or whatever, one more time, give us your website, give us your email address.
Website is Shavonna Nicole, ShavonnaNicole.com. And email is Shavonna@ShavonnaNicole.com.
Perfect. Thank you for sharing. Thank you, Tara. Thank you, Annette. We appreciate you guys. Thank you all so much for sticking around and listening. I appreciate it. I have many more people to interview for the next few Thursdays, so please tune in 7 p.m. on Thursdays. Shavonna and I are going to stick on a little bit longer so she can type her information in the comments. But for those of you that are with us that want to log off, you most definitely can. Again, thank you all so much. We appreciate you. And if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comment box and we'll get back to you.
Yay. Yes, thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Happy Thursday.
Yay. Okay, so...
Yeah, you can just type it in the comments for her. And then, you're welcome. Thanks for joining, June.
Do I look funny?
No. How can you look funny?
Okay. No, because I'm trying to type and hold the phone so everybody not looking at my nose at the same time.
No, you look fine. Perfect. It just popped up.
Whoop, whoop.
Yay. So if you guys have any questions to submit to Dear Ivana, you can submit them at this email address. Shavonna also provided her website, so you can visit her website if you want to know more about Shavonna's services. All right. Thank you all so much. Love you guys. Love you, sis.
Love you too.
All right. Chat later.
All right.